I'm here with Stan Moug, who's the Exhibition Manager for Perth Model Railway Show, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions. Stan, how did the show start?
Well, back in 1991, Perth Model Railway Club decided to run a show on a trial basis, and we took a risk because up until then we hadn't really been running shows, and the club lacked a lot of momentum. We weren't really building layouts for any particular thing. It was just a bit of a passive club. So in 1991, we hired the Lesser City Hall in Perth and took a one-day show. The first show consisted of 5 layouts and 1 trade stand, and a lady making tea in the corner. And we ran the show for one day, and it was successful. On the evening of the show, we counted up our money and thought, wow, this is actually really good. It's a way of financing the club. So the show developed from there. So over the next 2 or 3 years, we gradually expanded in the Lesser City Hall. And eventually we outgrew the Lesser City Hall and took the big risk of moving into the big City Hall. So this goes back again into the 1990s still. And the show gradually grew and grew and grew from there. And about 20 years ago, the City Hall was being closed. So we decided to move to the Jurors Centre and have been here ever since.
Have you always been in this particular hall or in the Jurors Centre?
Well, it's quite interesting. We started in the other hall. So the ice rink at that time still was used for skating in the summer. So we took the decision to have only one hall, and over the years we became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then one year we asked them if we could have a small section of this hall. So over the next few years, gradually the exhibition moved from 1 aisle to 2 aisles to 3 aisles, and now it's full. So we can't go anywhere else. Although I have noticed there's another hall upstairs.
So what's your role in this?
Okay, so this is our 28th show, and I've managed all 28 of them. We can't get volunteers to readily take over. So over these 28 years, I've started to build up a whole network of contacts within the hobby. I'm very well known in the hobby. I hate bragging about myself, but I do have a lot of contacts. And this enables me to select layouts from all over the UK. And of course there's a team behind me as well, but I've done all 28 shows. And some people ask me why I do that. The reason is I actually enjoy it. So, and I get a thrill from the public coming in and actually enjoying themselves. So this gives me a great sense of satisfaction.
How long does the show run for?
Okay, so we run the show over the whole weekend. It's a 2-day show. It's always the last full weekend in June. When we started off, we actually had the show in November, and one year we had a really bad experience with weather, so we decided to move the show to the summer. It was a bit of a risk because the traditional rally modelling season for shows is normally autumn through to spring. So, but one of the advantages of running the show in June is we have ready access to a lot of traders who might otherwise be elsewhere.
How many exhibitors and traders do you have?
Okay, so normally the show has about 100 stands, and we would split the stands down into about 38 to 40 layouts and 40 traders, with the balance being societies and special interest groups. Funnily enough, I do have a lot of exhibitors who contact me and say, can I come to the show? And so, for example, yesterday on the first day of the show, I received some information from a number of people who would give me leaflets and say, please can I bring my train set? So I've got people asking me through the reputation of the show. I've also got a network of contacts in the south, so I spend quite a lot of time going down to exhibitions and talking to people, looking for suitable layouts. So I have a fair reservoir of layouts.
And the exhibitors come from all over Britain, do they?
Yeah, we've had exhibitors from as far as the south coast of England to as far north as Inverness.
But there's a good selection here of Scottish exhibitors.
Yeah, there's a fair selection of Scottish exhibitors, so roughly 50% of the exhibits are actually from Scotland, the balance from England and Wales.
In the overall context of shows around the country, where does the Perth Model Railway Show sort of fit in?
Well, we're quite proud of our reputation. We are the biggest club-run show in Scotland. There is, within the UK, we always feature in the top 10, and we are regularly voted in various websites as being within the top 10, which is a fair achievement for a provincial club from Scotland when you think of some of the larger UK cities.
I noticed this show that we've had a crew in from Channel 4. What were they doing here?
Yeah, they contacted me a few weeks ago and said, can we come to do some shooting? We're featuring one particular exhibitor, but we'd like to come and have a look around the show.
So my name is Banda and I am working for an independent television company called Flint TV, and we're making a 6-part documentary series for Channel 4 called The World's Most Beautiful Railway. And we're here at the Perth Model Railway Show today because we're following a contributor called Davy Coddington, who works for Network Rail. And as part of his story through the series, he has come to show off his model railway exhibition at the Perth Railway Show. So we've come to follow him today, find out how he's getting on, watching him setting up. And while we're here, we want to see everyone else's displays, chat to people about why they're there, talk to families coming through the doors. So it's going to be aired in September/October of this year, so 2019. It'll be first shown on More 4 and then it's going to be repeated on Channel 4. I mean, this place is called the happiest show for a reason. Everyone has been so welcoming. We've talked to so many stall holders and so many exhibitors. Their stalls are amazing, and what's been amazing is they've made like models of the actual rail lines that we've been filming on. So Glenfinnan, it's been incredible. We've done a lot of filming there. We talked about the Union of South Africa. That was one of our first steam train episodes. We've just had such a great time talking to people. And families as well. There's been such lovely families coming that we've been filming too.
I understand you've now merged the Perth Model Railway Club with the Scottish Model Engineering Trust. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. One of the problems with model railways is that they take a lot of space up, and it's always a bit of a problem finding the correct accommodation, because we don't want to have a situation where every night we perhaps hire a church hall but have to take everything down at the end of the night. We like to have our layouts up so that we can actually work on them and play with them. So we decided, after having some issues with the last deal we had on rental, and having looked at the commercial rates in Perth, decided that it might be a good idea to contact the Scottish Model Engineering Trust to inquire about a merger. The idea being that we would put our funds into building a railway room on the SMET site. SMET have got a wonderful outdoor railway, about 7¼ acres, and there's plenty of room. So we started having negotiations with them about a year ago, and very welcoming they were. We're absolutely amazed at just how willingly they've embraced the idea of merger. Because we were a charity and SMET are a charity, it wasn't possible to have two charities running. So we decided to wind up the Perth Model Railway Club charity and merge. So all of our assets merged. And our aim from this is to build a centre of excellence in Scotland for model railways, from N gauge all the way up to 7¼ gauge.
And I understand you were able last night to introduce some of the exhibitors to your new building.
Yeah, we had a barbecue last night. The weather was a bit against us. There's an almighty thunderstorm, but we had 150 people out at the club room, and although we have not finished building yet, there was sufficient lighting available to have a barbecue, and we had train rides in the rain. And it was a very, very wonderful evening.
What sort of feedback have you had from people who were there?
Well, so far, people have been really, really positive about it. I had one guy from the EM Gauge Society who said to me, "You have once again raised the standard," which means basically nobody else looks after their exhibitors like us. So we pride ourselves on being a friendly show, We are running this because we enjoy it. It's a hobby. It's not a business as such. So we like to entertain people. We like to make sure that all of our exhibitors go away with an experience of pleasure, because people talk. So these guys will go down south and talk about the Perth show in the south. It's all to do with enhancing our reputation.
Thanks, Stan. People need to obviously make a note in their diary for next year if they want to come to the Perth show.
Yeah, it's always in the last weekend in June. So so the dates move around a wee bit. So the last full weekend in June, which next year is the 27th and 28th of June. Please come.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want notifications, make sure you hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching. Bye.